This is the big bend with a reverse on it, so there we go, that's just fallen over. This is a 15-day challenge to make one interesting video. I'm going to accumulate footage of work, being at home, and being out and about in general, and seeing if I can make anything interesting and slightly entertaining. Now, that don't sound too difficult, but for somebody like me, who started a channel 2 years ago and has not made one video, this is quite a big deal. I struggle with getting over the line, so I've set myself a challenge of just go out every day, film, and no matter what it is, we're going to use that. Now, one thing to add, I am a complete beginner. I know the bare minimum about drones, I know the bare minimum about anything to do with cameras and filming. So this is kind of a learn on the go and get out and about and see, not only can we make something, but can we improve on the way. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 15 days and start with that, and hopefully we'll capture something slightly interesting that will make this video quite good. The bag's packed, I've got my keys, and out we go on an adventure to start this YouTube filming. Looking like I have some idea what I'm doing, but I'll be honest, I haven't really got a clue. So I'll call this first phase the animal phase. Anytime I was out and about and I saw an animal, it got filmed. Birds, and more birds. They seem to be the first thing that came to mind. Birds in the air, birds on the floor, birds on the water. They got filmed. It was all about filming birds. After the birds, it seemed only natural to find more animals. And I thought, well, I've got 2 at home. And at the moment, I'm also borrowing 1. So I've got 3 dogs at home. So out came the dogs, all 3 of them. And there, the gold mine of footage. Dogs sniffing, dogs rolling, dogs walking, dogs sitting. The hours of footage was unreal. However, it wasn't the most interesting per se. There's certainly more interesting stuff out there. And I thought, well, I enjoy this, but is it going to be entertaining for YouTube? But I kept filming anyway. And I've got days and days and days and days of footage of dogs. But I needed something a bit more substantial. However, whilst filming the dogs, I did see this cheeky little fellow digging a hole. And I thought, well, that'll spice up even more animals. Having filled the camera roll now with birds, dogs, and a vole, it seemed only natural that I had to get the drone out. Once the drone came out, that was it. It was an excuse to go fly around, film like I've never filmed before, capturing scenery here, there and everywhere, and even the odd animal thrown in, a few cows here and there, and maybe a skyward bird. When I was up with the drone, I accidentally managed to capture a bit of a tornado, which I've seen about 2 in my life, and by chance, I caught it and I thought I was going to crash the drone, so I started panicking and flying left, right and centre. But I did actually capture something quite interesting, even if it was by pure fluke. Again, it was just more of a selection of moments rather than a video. And I noticed this when I came home and looked after the first 6 days and thought, what the hell am I going to do with all this footage? And that's when the problem started clicking in my head that I've got a lot of nice footage, but how the hell do you put this together? So I think we'll call the next phase the realisation phase. Heading into the realisation phase, I had to scale back and think, well, I've got lots of pretty stuff, but I haven't got a shot of me talking. I haven't got a shot of me walking. I haven't got a shot of anything other than a pan around, a dog, a bird, and a cow. And a vole. Can't forget the vole. But that was the problem. I needed something to connect all this together. This is where I started filming a bit more with thought and thinking, well, I need a shot of actually going somewhere, a door opening, stuff like that. I'd never thought to film all this before. And I didn't think that was interesting. But to make the interesting stuff interesting, I started realising that you had to film some mundane stuff to make it interesting. And that's when I started actually thinking about what I was filming and going out there, getting these little gate shots, these little walk past moments. And I realised it was actually making my footage look better and more interesting than what everything else was. In the realisation phase came another big thing, me talking to the camera. And I have lots of footage of me talking to the camera. Most of it isn't in this video because it turned into an internal monologue of nonsense, which made no sense. I've gone blank. I need some notes. And I didn't even know how to set a shot up. I've got shots of it falling over in the car when I tried to drive with it. There we go. I told you it won't work. That's it. Again, Wasn't even sure if you're allowed to do that while driving, but I thought sod it. And yeah, stuff like this where I've sat in the car with a little microphone on. I started realising that you had to do these bits in order to progress the video, because it just turned into a highlights reel, which I didn't want to create. I actually wanted some sort of story. So it was a learning curve. But now I'm getting a bit more used to it. It feels better than it did. But don't worry, I'll include some of the bad ones of me just chatting nonsense. Clap. I'm still dirty from work. Yeah. Sound. With the talking bit wrapped up, it was on to the edit. The easy bit, I thought, pop the kettle on, make a brew. Sit down outside, inside, wherever, and start the little edit. Drag your footage together and job done. What ensued was hours and hours of not knowing how to do this, not knowing how to move that, not knowing how to cut this, not knowing how to change the audio. You get the script. It was horrendous. The level of naivety that I showed towards editing was untrue. But with a lot of help from Google and, don't know, sheer willpower, I've actually managed to edit this together. I'm hoping that by the time you're seeing this, it does look okay, because it has been one hell of a bloody slog as this. With the editing wrapped up, we're on to the end of the video. And this is, the point where we kind of reflect. Have we achieved? Well, we've been out for 15 days. We've filmed some stuff. We've seen some stuff. And it's been good. I think some of it's quite interesting. But the whole point of this really was to really get this video made and get it over the line, which I feel like I actually have achieved. If you sat here watching now, then we're wrapping it up. This is achieved. This is a video. It exists. It's been a struggle at times, especially with the editing and not knowing what I'm doing with the camera.
What? We're trying to recreate a walking shot.
Not knowing what to film.
Like the idea that I'm now filming myself walking. That's never occurred.
But in the end, I've really enjoyed it. And hopefully, it's semi-entertaining, my first journey through the video. Whether we've achieved something interesting or not, I don't really know. If you're here too, you are seeing that this exists and it's over the line. So hopefully, if you've enjoyed this, I've enjoyed it. We'll make another one and you might be around to see it. Till next time.